Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy, Hikins, and Trevor.
Would long since have happened that, with the developing technology of flight and so on, that things become more reliable. But you go back, 50 years or more, when it was in the earlier days of flights, then you could sort of understand stuff going missing like that. But to have MH370, I think it was in 2014.
It was, yeah.
And it was actually, I remember the dates, the 8th of March, because it was the day before my birthday, so it sort of sticks in the memory. But it just disappeared. It was Malaysian Airlines, wasn't it? And it disappeared on a flight, I think, to Beijing. But strangely, they tracked it so that it turned left instead of going straight on up. So there was talk of a possible, it had been taken over by terrorists or things like that. But nothing was ever really proven. And a number of companies have come into the scene over the last 11 years now, saying we can find it. We've got the equipment to trace and track this aeroplane. And it seems they've never done it. At the same time, I mean, the poor relatives over the years, they've requested, resumption of the searches, and lots of searches have been done in collaboration with the Australian government, because they thought it could have gone down that way or down in the Indian Ocean. So lots of people have looked. But in a sense, I read a very good book about it, actually, 2 or 3 years ago, by a French lady whose name I can't remember at the moment. And it was fascinating to read the research she had done, whereby bits of a 777 aeroplane had washed up on the shores of an island, I believe, called Reunion, somewhere near Mauritius. And as far as I remember, it was confirmed to be a piece of the wing, probably a flap, from the aeroplane, the MH370. And you'd have thought that in itself, the fact they could have perhaps calculated where that may have washed up, computers could have looked and seen the currents and so on, but it never did lead to them. And I think there's other bits of stuff that have been found on shores and so on, which may not have been actually authenticated. But there's something odd about it. There's something odd about that, and maybe there would be, because it's never been solved as a problem. But this is, of course, that in itself gives rise to the conspiracy theory, doesn't it? People think, there's something's being hidden here. But I have to say, when we can all be traced by our mobile phone, which we got in our pocket, and they can see exactly where we've gone, exactly where we are, not to mention all the CCTV and stuff. But if we ping electrical signals from our phones, which we do, then how the hell they could lose a giant 777 airliner is beyond understanding. It really is. In this day and age, the Earth has become so much smaller, not just by huge aeroplanes making ever quicker journeys, but by technology. We talk about mobile phones and other things. The Earth is so much smaller, and everything really is traceable. There's not many places left on this Earth where an aeroplane could fly and could be permanently lost. And that in itself may give rise to people saying, I smell something funny in this. Now, I'm not saying that. I felt for some years that eventually we wake up one day and they say, the plane's been found, the remains are under the sea or they're on land, whatever. But it's never happened. And that in itself makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Right, another one is, I know we've got a topic for today. I was just thinking, see what we can do to finish off this conspiracy theory thing before we then. Yeah. But another one.
Well, we can always carry forward till next week.
Absolutely.
Stuff we were going to do today.
Absolutely. Now another one is, bro, Elvis Presley. People,
Yeah.
there are people that still believe he's still alive.
Well, he is. I mean, he works in my local chip shop. Reference to a great song as well, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Great.
And
You know that
why?
song?
One of Elvis, you mean?
No, it's there's a guy who works down the chip shop, swears he's Elvis, and it was Kirsty McCall who sadly died. She was a very good singer. She did Fairy Tale of New York with Shane MacGowan, the Christmas song, and she died actually some years ago. She was on holiday with her two sons somewhere in the Med or somewhere, and a speedboat was out of control coming towards her and her boys in the water. So she pushed them out the way, but was hit and she died. Anyway, that's going off subject, very sad.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins.
The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.